I hate being a nurse, and that might be a strong statement.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about nurses are quitting their job and others are saying they hate the job. So I've put the TikTok videos together so that you watch. I'll be back to share my true sense.
And I literally feel like I'm going to get upset, but I have been a registered nurse for 10 years. I have changed jobs several times because everybody's like, the great thing about being a nurse is if you don't like one area, you can go to another. And I've done ER, I've done NICU, I've done private duty, I've done IV hydration. I've tried all these different things, and I hate it. I hate being a nurse. There are so many nurse content creators on here that love it, and like I'm so happy that they have found a career that they have loved. But after a decade of being a nurse, I hate it and I want a new career. So if you love your job and you make a good living, please comment what you do for a living, because I can't be a nurse anymore. I hate it. I am so upset. I just hate being a nurse, and I wish I had never gone into this career because it has broken me down so many times. And like, even when I try to get a low stress nursing job, it's not low stress. I'm still dealing with a lot of the same stuff that I used to have to deal with when I was working in the hospital, and I just can't do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. And if you're looking to go to nursing school, don't do it. Do not do it. If you want to work in the medical field and you want to help people, go into radiology, become a radiology tech, become a surgical tech. Do not become a nurse. Do not. 10 out of 10 don't recommend.
I quit my full-time night shift job. Let's talk about it. I know you guys have been asking me for updates. I needed a minute to sit with what happened because I was honestly devastated, literally ugly crying when I filmed this earlier this week. And I needed a few days to just sit on it. I'm obviously in a much better headspace right now, so let's talk about it. If you haven't been watching my updates, I started a new full-time night shift position about 3 weeks ago as an eating disorder recovery nurse inpatient. If you guys are new here, I'm also a single mom. I have a sixth grader and I take care of him all by myself. So obviously for me to work night shift, I needed someone that would be able to check on him, to stay with him, and to be with him, because I don't feel comfortable leaving my sixth grader by himself anywhere, especially at night for 12 hours. And the reason I needed to work nights is because he goes to school from 9 to 4, and it's really hard for me to find someone to take him to school. So I decided that nights was the best thing, probably for the both of us. Earlier this week, the person that was watching my son while I was at work at night told me that they actually weren't going to be able to continue to do that for me, and I completely understand. I was a little bit shocked just because before this, as you can imagine, we had an extensive conversation on how big of a commitment this was, and for them to back out like 3 weeks later, I was kind of shocked, but I get it. It's nobody's responsibility to take care of my child. That's my responsibility. So that was number one. Something else that happened is my son gets out of school at 4:30. By the time I get out of the parent pickup line, it's usually 4:45, 4:50. We live 45 minutes away from the school with traffic, so I'm getting home at like 5:40. Mind you, I have to be work at 6 p.m. So there was one day where there was a huge accident on the highway and I was 20 minutes late to my shift, which if you're 20 minutes late to your nursing shift, that's horrible for the person you have to relieve. First of all, I acknowledge that. I was training, so my preceptor got report, but I felt horribly, and my manager did ask me about it. I apologized profusely, and I told her that I would try to work probably Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night when I didn't have to pick up my son from school, so that wouldn't happen again. So I was panicking, as you can imagine, because I still had to work that week, trying to find someone that would be able to stay with my son the next day. Super short notice. It's very stressful. His grandparents live very far away from me, his grandparents from his dad's side. So there was no way that I would be able to pick him up at 4:30 and get him there and get myself to work by 6. And I told my manager that I probably wasn't going to be able to be full-time night shift and commit to that. And that's when I decided to take a step back and look at the big picture. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, the specialty, eating disorder recovery, is not for me. This is not something that I usually share, but I used to have an eating disorder and I still very much struggle with my body image. I feel like I don't know what I really look like because of trauma, other things that have happened to me that we don't need to get into. And I knew that going in, but I thought that I could be strong and overcome it. And honestly, this job mentally was really, really weighing on me. There were a lot of patients at this facility, as you can imagine, that were court ordered there for treatment, and they do put them in restraints and put in NG tubes forcefully if they have to, and of course, if it's to the benefit of the patient. But personally, for me, watching that was too much, and I've seen a lot of things, but it's just not something that I wanted to be a part of. The night shift portion actually didn't bother me that much. I think I adjusted. I only did it for 3 weeks, but I was adjusting. I was getting a schedule down. I was being responsible with my time management, making sure that I was sleeping enough. And that part I actually didn't mind at all, at least not as much as I thought I would. But I think the specialty itself, I knew that I wasn't happy. I knew that I was going to get burnt out. And another thing is, when I started working at the facility, I started noticing that there are a lot of agency nurses there. There's huge bonuses, I know that I had talked about in the past, to pick up shifts, and I could definitely see why. The facility itself was beautiful, state of the art, brand new, in an amazing area. I love that city. I love that area. Like that town. It's so clean and safe and new. But putting all of this in front of me, I realized that I needed to quit. So I went to my manager and I told her, is there any potential for me to go full-time day shift? And honestly, I think it was meant to be, because I don't know why I asked her that when I know that I don't like the specialty. I think I just really wanted to make it work. But everything happens for a reason, and she told me that they were completely full on day shifts, and obviously they were really hurting for night shift nurses, so she said that wasn't a possibility. I asked her if I could go PRN or part-time, and she said no, that's not something that they were interested in. And so I asked her what she thought I should do. She told me she could put me on the wait list for a day shift position, but obviously it's by seniority. She's like, it probably won't happen for a really long time, probably next year. She said, I'm not gonna lie to you. And she said, the other option that I would honestly just tell you is to quit and, keep an eye out on our website or reach out to the recruiter, and they can let you know when a full-time day shift opens. So I took a day to think about all of that as well, and I just decided that the best thing for me and my son would be to quit. And so I did put in a 2-week notice. Obviously, I was still on the training period, you guys. The training there was like 8 weeks. They told me that wasn't necessary because I wasn't on my own. And that was my last day. I bawled my eyes out because I just felt like almost like a failure, and it was very disappointing because I was really excited and I honestly felt really depressed. And that's why I needed to take a minute to sit with the information before I shared it with you guys, because I did record this the day that it happened and I was sobbing in my car, ugly crying, and I didn't want to post that, obviously. And yeah, I'm doing much better now. I actually just went on an interview. I have 2 interviews next week and they're all in psych. I think that I've just realized that I thrive in psych. It's something that I'm really passionate about, something that comes to me so easily, and something that I truly enjoy. So I'm definitely excited to tell you guys about the opportunities that I've come by. And yeah, just wanted to give you guys that little update. I know you guys have been asking me in my comments, in my DMs when I went live earlier this week, and that's the unfortunate update that I have for you guys.
I'm quitting my nursing job. I'm quitting my nursing job. Yeah, I know, crazy. I have officially 2 weeks until I put my 2 weeks in. And honestly, this is a decision that I really struggled with, because this is like the best nursing job I've ever had. Without a doubt. This is the most money I've been paid for nursing. I honestly think it's one of the highest paying nursing jobs in the country. And I'm about to quit. I'm about to quit. Oh my God. I'm about to quit with absolutely nothing lined up. Just vibes. Just vibes. I couldn't be more excited, y'all. I could not be more excited. Y'all know I've been burnt out from night shift, and I've gotten told no, that I can't switch to days for over a year now. I've been asking multiple times for over a year, and I still have not been switched to days. That's the biggest thing. I've told y'all night shift was ruining my life. I meant it. I'm willing to forgo the cash. I'm willing to forgo the prestige because night shift is ruining my life. That's the first thing. 2, y'all know I'm tired of the ICU. I'm tired. I'm done. I'm done with the ICU. And working here, getting off night shift and getting out of the ICU, unfortunately, just is not an option. So yeah, I'm about to quit. So this is 2 weeks before I put my 2 weeks in. And I'm not posting it yet because I know some people at work follow me. I don't need anybody talking. I don't need any snitches. Y'all are nice, but just for my peace of mind, yeah, let's check back in I don't know, maybe a week. Okay, update. I'm about a week out from putting in my 2 weeks. I've started to share with just some few trusted psych staff about, the fact that I'm leaving, my reason for leaving. Not that anyone needs a reason, but, I think I have a pretty good one. So it's coming up, y'all. It's coming up. Yeah, the day has come. I'm putting in my 2 weeks tonight. Well, I guess in the morning after my night shift, I'm going into work. I'm going to draft my 2 weeks. I'm going to go to my manager's office. I'm going to tell him I'm putting my 2 weeks in, and then I'm going to send the email. I did it, y'all. I put my 2 weeks in. I will no longer be an ICU nurse, and I'm moving.
I was a bedside nurse for a total of probably 9 months, and I got out of there as quick as I came in because I said this is not for me. Nursing is the most diverse profession. You learn nursing school, you learn literally how to work bedside nursing, but do you know how many nursing jobs are out there? How many different kinds of nursing jobs there are? No, we probably don't, because nursing school doesn't teach you that because they want you to work in a hospital, blah, 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 blah. And that's great for some people. We need nurses like that. I, however, just knew I wasn't built for that. And it almost made me drop out of nursing school because I thought that was my only option. And so I'm not trying to shit on nursing. I'm just trying to show people that there are other options out there. Yeah, that's just quite literally how it is. Nurses are needed for so many things. You can go from chart reviews, IV therapy, working on a yacht.
That's a video, guys. I'm just here also to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video. There's a quiet storm happening in healthcare right now. More and more nurses are walking away from their profession, not just transferring departments or taking a break, they're leaving for good. And the saddest part is many of them didn't leave because they stopped loving the job. They left because the job stopped loving them back. So when most of the people think of nurses, they picture strength, compassion, and resilience. And it's true, nurses are often some of the most dedicated and selfless people you ever meet. But ever the most dedicated hearts can burn out when they are consistently pulling out with nothing put back in. The truth is, people are quitting nursing because the system is broken. It's not just about pay, though the part of it, it's the emotional toll, the lack of support, and impossible expectations placed on them, on human beings who are expected to perform like machines. The staffing shortages are real and they're dangerous. The nurses are being asked to do more with less help, less time, and less appreciation. Imagine being irresponsible for 10 or even 15 patients at once, juggling medication, emergencies, paperwork, and emotional care. Oh, wow, knowing you're one mistake away from a lawsuit or death. That's not sustainable. It's traumatic and yet happens every single day. Let's talk about the emotional side. The side people they rarely discuss. Nurses are people at their worst. At the age of their life and death, they hold hands when the family can't be there. They carry the pain of others, often silently, but who they are to help the nurse when they go home, cry in the shower after 14-hour shifts. Who's checking on the nurse who have not had a real day off in weeks because of understaffing? The truth is, nobody, and that the silence is why so many are choosing to leave. The pandemic changed everything. For many nurses, COVID-19 was the final straw. They were called heroes one day and then overworked and underprotected the next. Promises were made, bonuses, better condition, mental healthy support, and many of those promises never came. The public moved on, but nurses were left behind to pick up the pieces of broken system. Many of them dealing with PTSD, depression, and moral injury can really blame them for walking away. Then there's the bullying in toxic workplace culture that so many nurses speak about, but few outsiders understand. The hospitals, the lack of respect from doctors or administrators, the constant pressure to just deal with it. It wears people down. You can't just tell people to be strong when you created an environment that breaks them. Another reasons people are quitting nursing is simple. There are other options: remote work, better paying jobs, entrepreneurship. More people are realizing they don't have to sacrifice their mental health to survive. They don't have to stay in a profession that don't value them. And once the realization hits, it's hard to unsee. It's important to say this: not everyone quit nursing because they hate it. Some leave because they love themselves enough to say, this is not worthy anymore. The kind of self love takes courage. Some go on to become advocates, mental health coaches, or even work in healthy care reform. But the fact remains the system is losing good people because it refuses to listen, to change, or to care. So, what happens next? If nothing happens or nothing changes, most nurses will leave, patients' care will continue to suffer, and one day we realize that the people we depended on the most, the ones who showed up for us when one else would not, have left because we never truly showed up for them. To every nurse watching this video who left or is thinking of leaving, you're not a failure. You didn't quit because you are weak. You left because you are strong enough to choose peace over pain. And that decision deserves respect. Let this be a wake up call, not just for healthy workers, it's also for other people who are working in different industries. And I've seen a lot of videos where people being laid off from their jobs, and it's kind of crazy because people, they don't have money to do anything at this point. Like, jobs are very hard to find, and when you lose this job, it will take you a year or maybe 6 months plus 2 years. I've seen videos people coming say, I've what's this I've been looking for a job, and it's been 2 years. I'm just taking applications, but no one is answering me. Like, there is a lot of chaos which is happening in 2025. Like, if we start talking about it, guys, it's really crazy. People are still living paycheck to paycheck. And just imagine you quit your job today, okay, because of the mental toll. And for this needs to find another job, it will take her time. Okay. So I think people should learn to be, you know, to be nice at work. Though a workplace is not a place to be nice, I know, because everyone has their own special benefits. They just want something good to happen to them. This is why we always say that um don't trust your coworkers. When you work at a certain place, your workers are not your friends. I know that people found true friendship in working areas, but it's very dangerous because once you open up too much, you find yourself trapped. You find they're using this against you. Like, I came across a certain video which was posted on TikTok where a certain content creator came and said open that she told her coworker that she was late for work because she went out the previous night. And this coworker went and told the boss like what was really happening to her, why she was late, because as she explained that her cousin got her car. Okay, so she couldn't make it in time because she brought the car in the morning. So this is how crazy it is. Don't open too much to people because they're going to use that thing against you. I think we should learn also to be very, very careful in these workplaces. Just work. Working is your job. Do your job and move. Okay, it's very important. Always protect yourself because these people can use anything against you. So, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next episode.